Well, hello and good morning. Welcome to a new video. My name is Fenna. I'm a full-time photographer in the Netherlands and I'm in my studio right now. It's a little bit overcast. Sometimes the sun comes through. And I'm right next door to a flower shop. And today I'm going to photograph two newborn babies. I'm going to gently place him on his belly. Little posing pillow underneath his head. His leg is not on top of the other leg anymore. So here you can see he's underneath a little cover. You wanted to have stretch. This photo of him smiling, so we were just waiting for a second. They're both boys, and during the first session I get to vlog a lot, so that's really cool. So I might show you my workflow, I might show you some wrapping techniques. I will keep it very simple and very safe for the baby, very comfortable for the baby. So yeah, the first session is from 10 until 12. The second one is from 1 until 3. I'm gonna put my hair up in a bun. So the first boy who's coming in is like 2.5 weeks old right now. And I'm just gonna use some earthy tones as far as backdrops. Oh yeah, I am waiting for like a circular backdrop stand to come in. I ordered it. Really excited for it. So I'm now using flexi bars on the side, have a bean back there underneath, and as soon as it gets here I'm gonna do videos like, you know, putting it together and then using it and reviewing it. So, you know, subscribe and like and turn on the notification bell, and then you won't miss out on any other videos. I also do videos, you know, shooting weddings, cake smash sessions, sitter sessions, maternity sessions, so stay tuned. But anyway, I'm gonna pick out some wraps as well, and then hopefully show you some wrapping techniques as we go. Let's go. I will also already pick out maybe 1 or 2 outfits. Maybe this one for the creamy backdrop and this one for the gray one. Depending on whether the mom likes it and he's sleeping or not, and you know, fuzzy or deep asleep and easy just to change him. We'll see how it goes. Today I will be using the Nikon D750 with my 24-17mm lens, aperture 2.8. Here you can see for now I've got the backdrop here, just a little blanket. I got some wraps already picked out here. Here's my baby shusher. Here's an extra heater, not too close to the baby. I will be kind of like in between the heater and the baby. Here I have some outfits already ready. Of course I will close the softbox once we start. I will have some posing pillows right here, so I can just grab them really easily. So yeah, that's it for now. Ready to go. The mom can sit here and just relax, have a cup of tea. Later we can go to the Flocati and take some photos. We can go to the one like the dark wood in the back to take some photos. I like the ochre yellow. I might do a portrait of the mom with her son in front of that backdrop. So here you can see the changing table, just some little diapers. Yeah, when brothers or sisters come along, they can always chill here, or like the little play area right here. These dressings we're not going to use today. Those outfits we're not going to use today. So this is it for now. Just waiting for the little boy to come. So for me, the key to creating beautiful, timeless portraits of babies is to keep it simple. I don't do any crazy poses. To me, they are maybe a little bit crazy. I shouldn't call them crazy because I know they can be very beautiful, and some photographers, they work so safe and well. They execute the poses well, they don't harm the baby in any way, they don't put any strain on their hips or on their wrists, or, you know, they always keep their head supported, watch their blood flow, watch their temperature. But I mean, there are just some poses that I don't do because I don't think they are super cute, and I don't think they are necessary to include them for a beautiful gallery full of just beautiful photos. There are so many other poses that you can do which are way easier and they are just, you know, very natural and very pure and very safe for the baby. Like, I have a certain workflow and I'll just do my poses in the same order. Maybe I will skip one pose when the baby is wide awake, just because some poses don't really work with wide awake babies, and then I'll go to another pose, but I will still have kind of like the same workflow. And there's always time for like a feeding in between. Like if the baby's ready to be nursed, there's time for the mom to nurse her baby. You know, bottles can be made here. We can always take a break. Sometimes babies can be a little bit fuzzy, and then the parents will just have the baby on their chest with like some blankets covering the baby. We'll just have some coffee or tea. We'll just chat about, you know, the first few weeks with their baby. And maybe the dad decides to walk around a little bit in the studio with the baby until the baby falls asleep, and then we'll continue with the session. If the baby's wide awake, we might wrap the baby and go from there. I will start with some photos of the baby on his or her side. Like maybe first his on her back. Then I will carefully lay the baby on his or her side, maybe with her hand right next to her face. Or like he can be like, you know, holding a little stuffed bear. We can maybe, if it's a girl, put some headbands on. Just very simple, some close-ups of the face, you know, some photos of the baby just lying on his or her side. No strain on the baby, very safe, very secure. Always look at the blood flow, look at the temperature, make sure that the baby is comfortable. Then I will, you know, carefully put the baby on his or her belly with a little bum up in the air. And then take some photos from that, taking photos from the top, taking photos from the side, taking photos of just the face. And from there, I can usually easily lift the baby on to his or her hands. Make sure that the baby is still very able to breathe. I have a first aid degree specialized in babies and like newborns. And if you are giving a baby like oxygen through their mouth, with an adult you put their chin up a little bit like this. With a baby you don't put it like all the way back, but just like straight, because you don't want to close their air supply. Sometimes I see pictures of newborn babies and their head is all the way like this, but it actually makes it really hard for them to breathe. So please be careful what you do. First, learn photography, know everything there is to know about your camera, make sure you can photograph in the manual mode, know you know, about ISO, about aperture, about shutter speed, white balance, compositions. Just know everything you need to know, so that when you are taking photos of children, you only have to press the button. Your settings are good, your photos are sharp, you know, your photos are crisp and sharp and good and not blurry or underexposed or overexposed. Make sure you know all that. Then take a newborn course, like just attend a workshop given by an experienced and good newborn photographer. Pay for it, invest in it. It's your education, but it's also you're responsible when you're working with a newborn, that the newborn is comfortable and safe, and you know, you're not placing the baby in any harm. You're not hurting the baby, you're not making the baby feel uncomfortable. Make sure you know what you're doing. So after I put the baby's head on his or her hands, you can also take photos from different angles. You can place like a little scarf over their head so they're just peeking out. Then I will usually roll the baby very slowly and gently again on his or her side. And then on his or her back, I will wrap the baby, maybe change my backdrop in between. And then when the baby is nicely wrapped, you can lift up the baby as this little package, always supporting the head, supporting the body, keeping the baby warm, keeping the baby safe. Having like 3 points of contact, like both your hands holding the baby against your body as well. And then place the baby in a bowl, maybe just taking photos from the top. If the baby's really sleepy, you can again put the baby with the head on his or her hands in a prop, but I will only do that with really sleepy babies. Make sure that the prop is weighed down so it doesn't tip over. Make sure that there's a spotter right next to the baby, because babies can always move. They can always, you know, push themselves up. You never ever want a baby to fall out of a prop. So maybe you can have the mom or dad to help you sit right next to the baby and hold his or her hand on the baby's back. You can Photoshop the arm out. So yeah, I'm just gonna, when the baby gets here, lift him out of his car seat, place him on the beanbag, then undress him there with the, you know, the sound machine on, with the heater going on, and then just gently placing him on his side, placing him on his belly, placing him on his back, wrapping him, placing him in a basket. It's not rocket science, but still you have to know what you're doing. You have to feel comfortable holding a baby. If you are more calm, the babies usually sleep really well if their belly is full. The parents are feeling comfortable. Make sure that the parents are feeling comfortable as well. You know, have some coffee and tea, some snacks, some chocolates, and then, you know, everything is here. I have some extra diapers, I have extra wipes, I have these scented bags to put the diapers in. I have a diaper bucket thing. So yeah, like everything is here. So what's also really important, of course, is hygiene. So I make sure that my props are clean, my blankets are washed, the studio has been vacuumed and clean. I always like clean my hands in front of the parents as well once more. So I have like the hand sanitizing gel, and I will just clean my hands so they know that everything's clean, because it's a newborn baby. You know, everything should be clean anyway. But yeah. So before the session, I actually send out a little guide to the parents with some last minute information. You know, if the baby uses a pacifier at home, bring the pacifier, maybe bring like a little blanket, just so whenever you're feeding the baby, you can keep your baby nice and warm in his or her own blanket. You know, I will just tell them what I have here in the studio. And you know, some last minute directions. They can park here for free right in front of the studio. I also usually send them like colors, like different color schemes, and then they can let me know which colors they like, which colors they have in the nursery, so that I can already put some colors out there, like some blankets and stuff just ready. But I always tell them when they're here, like at any point when they see something like a certain prop or a certain blanket that they really like, please let me know, because then we can incorporate it into the session. So for now, I've just taken photos of him lying on his side. No stress on the baby, just taking some photos from the top, some close-ups of his face. He's just sleeping very comfortably. So I'm just gonna gently place him on his belly. And then usually babies really like to sleep on their belly. Here you can see him lying on his belly. There's no strain on anything. It's just very comfortable pose for him. I only have a little posing pillow underneath his head. So I'm not gonna lift up his butt because I don't want to put any strain on his back. He's nice and warm. His blood flow is really well. You can take a photo from the top. You can zoom in on his face. Take a photo from the side. Most babies really like to sleep on their belly, and it's a super cute pose. For now, I'm going to use this posing pillow and just place it underneath here, so that he can lie on it with his arms and then put his chin on his hands. I'm going to make sure that his leg is not on top of the other leg anymore, because that will be uncomfortable for him. So I'm just going to place the legs right next to each other, lift up his arms and place his chin on his hands, and then see if he likes it. So here you can see he's lying on one hand. Officially the pose would be on both hands, but he's just holding the other hand close to his body. You want to do it perfect, and you see other photographers doing certain poses. Just make it beautiful for the baby, make it beautiful for the parents, and follow what the baby likes. So here you can see he's underneath a little cover. When you take it off, it's just as cute. You can put another color on top. Just some detailed shots of his little face. Like sometimes it's nice when you just stretch out the fingers a little bit, so he's a little bit more relaxed. Baby always determines the pose, and yeah, rather just to put it like this on one hand than to wake him up because you want to do it on both hands, and then the baby gets fuzzy and doesn't like it, and you just want to make it as comfortable and as safe as possible for the baby. Here you can see the baby shusher again. The heater is right here, and the light is coming from that angle. So yeah, he's just very comfortably sleeping. And now I'm gonna later slowly turn him back on his side and then wrap him. Maybe take this backdrop off so we can go to the light gray one. But for now he is rocking his session. For now I'm going to wrap him in a very simple wrap, just all around him. So I'm just gonna put his head a little bit more straight on the pillow. As you can see, most babies really like to cross their legs. So sometimes you don't even have to put like a cover here because the legs will be covering the diaper area. He's still very flexible, so I don't think I need this piece of wrap. So I will just place his hands on the inside and just wrap all around him. This is a nice stretchy wrap. You want it to have stretch because otherwise it doesn't really work. So you can just wrap it all around him, of course not too tight. I mean, his feet is gonna stick out. Later I will gently put his feet back in. Like his own body weight will pull the wrap down, so you don't have to make any knots or anything. Make sure your wrap is long enough so you can cover him at least 2 times. And then you have a little bit left. Just place it somewhere in the bottom, and then just put his extra leg in there, and then you can take a photo from the top again. You won't see any diaper. You can take a photo from the side. I will just take out this posing pillow because I don't need it anymore. And now he feels nice and secure, like in his mother's belly, kind of. Most babies, even when they're awake and fuzzy, they like to be wrapped because they feel nice and secure. And this is just a very simple wrap, just around the baby. There's nothing really against his back, but it's just around the sides. I'm just gonna take a few photos. When you take a photo from the top, always wear your camera strap because you don't want the camera to accidentally fall down on top of anything or anyone. really comfortably. I wanted to take a photo of him smiling, so we were just waiting for a second, but he's not really giving a smile right now, so we'll just continue. I'm gonna take some photos of his feet. So I'm just gonna have his feet stick out a little bit, or put them like against each other, and then put a little wrap on the other side as well, so you kind of separate the feet from the rest. I'll turn the feet a little bit towards the light, like with the light coming from the side. I especially like the bottom of the feet. Okay, so I have two more setups for now. We have this one, light is already ready. And then we have the dark wood with some ochre yellow. And we'll just see how far we get. Like, if he doesn't like it anymore, we'll stop. If he's awake, it's fine. If he's sleeping, it's fine. But this is the setup for now. He just had something to drink. And we might put an outfit on, we might not, and we might change the diaper, we might not, but this is it for now. He's just sleeping here. We're just giving him a few minutes with his pacifier, and then hopefully pull out the pacifier and see if he continues sleeping. And here we go, we finished, and it was 2 hours, and I didn't look at the clock, but that's just the time that I usually need. So we're done. So we finished within 2 hours. So I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. It's great that you're interested in photography and photographing newborns and babies. Make sure that the baby is always safe. Don't try any difficult poses just because others are doing it. Make pure, timeless photos, and it doesn't have to be hard, you know. Simple is the key. Keep it simple. Keep it, you know, comfortable for the baby, and make sure that the parents enjoy the experience as well, and that the baby is just happy and healthy, and the parents can enjoy the photos forever. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please, you know what to do: like, subscribe, leave a comment. I'll see you in the comments. You'll see me in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.